his way.
And welcome once again. It is a beautiful Monday, December 2nd, 2024. As we approach the end of the year, I am here once again, as always, with my illustrious co-host, hot on the heels of the War Games. I'm here with the Napoleonic Napalm, the pint-sized Punisher, the battlefield blabbermouth, the raging runt of the ring, the war cry whiner, the explosive elf commander, micro machine gun, the squawk and awe specialist, the little big tantrum, the combative chatterbox, the ill-tempered infantryman, the furious foot soldier, the short-fused sharpshooter. It's Bryan Alvarez.
Oh, thank God you ended it early that time. Unlike
There's
last
more.
week where it went on. No more. You realize, like, last week, I barely got on the air for Observer Live. I was, like, rushing. And I remember there was a period in that show where we go, oh, we got a little bit of extra time. And you kind of, like, stalled or whatever. But we can't do that today. You understand? But I do want to tell everybody, today is Cyber Monday, and so this show is free. A rare Filthy Tom Lawlor show. This is Tom Lawlor, former UFC top 15 middleweight, light heavyweight?
Light heavyweight.
Light
I'm a
heavyweight.
big boy.
He is a big boy. Not that big, but he's a big boy. So, yes, we are here today free, and we are going to review Smackdown and, as I'm going to get to in a moment, WWE Speed. I'm going to review WWE Speed. And so it's going to be a lot of fun. If you like the show, then take advantage of our Black Friday special. There's 2 of them. You can go to Apple Podcasts at 4wonline.com/Apple, and you can get 3 free days. Absolutely free. Free on Apple Podcasts for 3 days. Get the next 3 days worth of shows and hundreds of shows that are already there, archived at Apple Podcasts. That's at 4wonline.com/Apple. Or you can sign up for the main site, where you can not only get 84 podcasts every month, but 15,000 archived podcasts. Every show Filthy and I have ever done in our lives together is available at f4wonline.com. You get the Observer newsletter, the back issues of the Observer, the board, the members site. All of that is half off right now, today only, Cyber Monday, and that is f4wonline.com or wrestlingobserver.com, and the promo code F4W50. F4W50. Get half off today. So enjoy the show, and we got to get going here. Tom, we also have to talk about one other thing today. Your review of women's War Games with your main squeeze, Nia Jax. Do not lie to the people today on this free show.
I was not a fan of the Women's War Games match.
You were not a fan?
I was not.
No, it wasn't good, was it? It was terrible.
I thought it was too long. I don't know why we need 2 War Games matches on every show. I understand why it's done, but I don't think we need it to be done. There's already, every year, a men's and women's Royal Rumble. We've seen over the past few years women get main eventing spots at WrestleMania. I think that they need to scrap this idea of always having the men's and women's War Games on the same show. And, you know, maybe next year or next time it's needed, you put the woman in the Hell in the Cell. Or you do only woman War Games match next year at Survivor Series. I think it's overdone. I don't like it. And
I was talking more about the quality of the actual match itself.
I blame the War Games format.
Well, the format did suck because the babyfaces had the advantage and were forced to look like absolute idiots the entire time because they were incompetent.
Why is it no longer submit or surrender? Wasn't that the whole purpose of the War Games? Now you can just win via pinfall.
Yeah. Especially because on SmackDown, they actually had Solo and Roman, like their meeting was supposed to be about the rules of surrender. And then like his whole rules of surrender were like, why don't you surrender now before the match? Which of course they didn't do. But then there were no surrenders in the match. So, you know what I honestly thought would happen? Which actually would have been like, I mean, the fans would have absolutely hated it. We might have had a riot. But like if you want heat, and if you especially want to do Roman versus Solo and have people care, when they all surrounded Solo and Roman offered the big hug or whatever, and then they were all going to kill him with their finish, Solo should have just surrendered. And that would have been like, just surrendered. Just be a total coward. And, you know, he wouldn't have been beaten. And, you know, he would have got massive heat by surrendering and not taking all those moves. And you would have still gone on, away you go. But no, he had to take the moves and get pinned. But we're ahead of ourselves. Start with SmackDown, then we'll do a couple War Games thoughts, and then we'll do Speed.
I mean, I gave you my War Games thoughts. I don't know what else we need to go over.
Oh, you're just going to ignore Nia's performance?
I said I didn't like the match.
I didn't ask about the match. I asked about Nia's performance. Since you've been talking about how great she's been lately.
I was not particularly impressed by anybody in the match. There were a few moments where the crowd got really into it when they were doing waterfall sequences. But other than that, I thought it was sloppy. I don't know why. I would have put somebody else in there early with Nia. I think Nia has been great lately, but she's been a monster lately. And she was put in a position here where, you know, she's in the match for what? How long was this match?
30 freaking minutes, dude.
You know what I mean?
It actually might have been more. Let's not mince words, Tom. She was terrible in this match. Absolutely terrible. She adds the new, like, I don't know if record is the right word, but the worst chair shots in the history of wrestling.
Whoa!
Courtesy Nia. Worse than Lance. It was worse than Lance.
Worse than FUNB Hulkster?
Actually, you know what? Somebody put a clip of that on Twitter, so I got to watch it again. It was quite bad, but Nia's were worse.
The problem with the one that I saw that Nia threw was that whoever it was flinching when she went to do it, so she had to readjust.
You're going to blame the other person.
Okay, here's another thing, and this is coming from one of the... This is... I should just not even say a fucking thing. But...
Yes?
But...
You better not say it, Tom.
I'm going to say
Don't say it.
I'm going to say it.
I just know it's going to be bad.
I'm going to bury myself is the issue.
All right. We do that every week. So
May 15th.
Yes.
May 15th, 2012, I believe. I fought on my birthday in the UFC. I don't know why the UFC was holding a show on a Tuesday night, but they were, and it just so happened to be my birthday. And I fought. I walked out to the cage that night to the song, "Da-na-na-na-na-na, You Know It's Your Birthday," with probably the same stupid fucking party hat that Naomi had on when she went into this War Games match. So coming from somebody who has gone into a cage match wearing a birthday hat, I thought it was stupid that Naomi did it. This is supposed to be War Games. You hate the other person. I was merely fighting somebody for money that I did not dislike. It was Jason the Athlete McDonald. Nice gentleman. But my job was to go out there and retire him. It wasn't like I was in a blood feud with him. So I thought it was preposterous.
Yeah, and then the baby faces have the advantage, but they're still getting their ass kicked by Nia. It's 2-on-1. Nia's beating two asses. And the fans are like bored shitless because it's so stupid. And then they started chanting happy birthday at Naomi. Like, wow. I see you're really concerned about her health. Chanting happy birthday, she's getting murdered by bad chair shots. Okay, let's talk about SmackDown.
Okay. So the lame duck edition ahead of the Survivor Series, as we mentioned. Although, as we've seen over the past year, really, they have done a better job of mixing the, I guess, big matches, putting some of the big matches on the SmackDown before, still having storylines carry on, even though they're not being settled at the pay-per-view. So there is some important stuff that goes on the show.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes had a match on Smackdown.
He did.
And was not anywhere on the pay-per-view.
And the show opened with a 4-minute video package about the Bloodline's ongoing saga, their failure to find a 5th member for the original Bloodline, and then the subsequent returns of Paul Heyman and CM Punk as he was added to the team as the 5th man. So the focus in the arena then shifts as the women's War Games match takes center stage with the female team of Rhea, Bianca, Io Sky, Naomi, and the newest member, Bayley, going to the ring and cutting a promo. The heel team then came to the aisleway and they trash-talked back and forth. Liv mentioned how no one knows who attacked Jade, but it's odd that Bayley is suddenly in this match. Rhea told Liv to quit wasting their time. Liv said she's going to break Rhea's face tomorrow. Rhea said she will break Liv's face so bad that Dominic won't even have to look at her. Ooh, he won't want to look at her. How bad. It seemed like they were going to fight. Then they all turned tail. The heels tried to walk off, but Rhea said, I hate waiting. And then a big brawl ensued between all 10 of the women. We got a ton of camera cuts, probably for the best in a brawl like this. But it took me back to the days of Kevin Dunn as they were brawling. And the officials then filled the ringside area. They broke it up, and the baby faces held the ring to end the segment.
You know, I got to say, I watched this on television, and I thought, this segment absolutely sucks. It's terrible. It's a terrible segment. Yeah. So then, we were driving to Vancouver, and I guess Sean had not watched SmackDown yet, and we were going to the pay-per-view, which aired, of course, after SmackDown. So he wanted to watch it. So he puts SmackDown on his phone so we can listen to it as he's driving. This segment, I thought it was bad watching it. Just only hearing the verbiage, I was like, how in the name of God did this make air? How? This verbiage was so beyond atrocious. And it's not like when it was over, you were super excited for the women's War Games match. It was like they felt, we need to do something. Well, let's do this. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Uninspired.
At best. At best.
We had Andrade take on Shinsuke Nakamura, a protege, a karate student of my good friend Seth Petrozelli. You can see he's been working on some new karate moves he's been displaying in the ring, Bryan. So Nakamura in his first match here since April of this year. They mentioned these two past battling over the IWGP Intercontinental title in 2013 as Nakamura and the then La Sombra, now Andrade, traded the title back and forth. Andrade had a great moonsault from the top to the floor before a commercial after Nakamura had spent the early part of the match battering him with strikes. They battled on the same top rope that Andrade had moonsaulted off of after the break, where Andrade knocked Nakamura to the mat, and then he hit what they called the second chance moonsault for a 2 count. I'll stick with that because I don't know what else to call it. Andrade tried for the message, but they went through a great back and forth sequence where Andrade tried the spinning elbow. Nakamura hit a backwards up Johnny Bones Jones style elbow, tried for the Kinshasa, but Andrade countered and then hit his own spinning back elbow. Andrade did 2 amigos, sent Nakamura into the buckle with the third. He went for the double knees in the corner, but Nakamura somehow pulled the turnbuckle pad off as Andrade charged him. Andrade hits the buckle, seemingly KO'd, before Nakamura hit the Kinshasa to the back of the head and won the match.
So Nakamura's got he's got a cool new gimmick. I like his new look, as they call it. And he comes out and he's got like a remixed version of his music. I'm like, that's pretty cool, I guess. And this is Friday. And then Saturday I go up, and this giant bloody moon appears on the screen. and this weird music starts to play. I'm like, this is a cool intro to Nakamura's theme. But the weird noise just continues on. It's like Don Callis' music. And it's like, now he's got yet another new theme. So, whatever. I liked his old one better, but this one's fine.
Well, they got to make sure the fans don't get into the theme, I think is the whole point, right?
I see.
Like, they're going to sing along with that song any chance they get. It's too catchy not to. So, got to switch it up. The guy's a devious heel. Dastardly. LA Knight tried to jump Nakamura after the match, but Shinsuke was ready because he had stolen packs of gum from Pee Wee Herman. And just like Francis, he had that black goo coming from his mouth, and he spit it right in LA Knight's face and left him laying. And backstage, Nick Aldis told the Bloodline 2.0 that tonight, everyone is banned from ringside during the Jey Uso and Jacob Fatu contest. We had Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa backstage talking. Ciampa, he is heated, to say the least. He said that they agreed they would do whatever it takes to get the titles back. He doesn't want their families to look at them as losers. He says Gargano's been acting like his friendship with Alex Shelley is more important than the titles. And he says Johnny has one more week to figure his crap out. Or from then on, it's Ciampa's way.
What a nice friend.
Yeah. Is this dude like ripping heaters before he cuts these promos?
He's always angry. He's angry even when he's a babyface.
The raspiest voice.
He's had that for a long time.
And it's pretty sick, to be honest. They showed the Signs of the Night, Bryan's favorite new segment, where he had the number one sign was Michael Cole fears Chelsea Green.
That was a number one sign.
That was.
I won't lie, I skipped through the signs. I'm like, I don't need to see
I thought you were into it.
No, I think it's a good idea because it encourages fans to bring signs, which makes it look like a hot event. It's not like I want to actually see the signs. I don't care.
If they're good, I want to see them.
Sure, but...
Listen, AEW has the lockdown on good signs. If you look in their crowd, like there's some that are so ridiculous. We had the Kevin Owens promo. He basically told us why he's right and Cody is not, and I'm with him.
Yeah, he makes good points.
He does. We've talked about them ad nauseum. Talked about it last week. Cody teaming up with Roman. You know, a guy that tried to put Kevin Owens out, end his career multiple times. So, yeah, Kevin Owens is, he makes some good points. Cody Rhodes, the man that he is seemingly determined to take out. He will face him at the Saturday night main event in, 2 weeks, I believe?
I think it's in 2 weeks,
Middle of December. And we had Cody Rhodes, the champion, ahead of that match with Kevin Owens, taking on Carmelo Hayes. This was set up last week after Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes had a confrontation in the arena. And then Cody Rhodes walked backstage. Melo made a comment to him. And then Cody Rhodes told Nick Aldis it was time for his number one draft pick to be evaluated. So the match was set.
Carmelo was the number one draft pick? Wow.
Yeah.
They've done a fair amount with him, but he's definitely not booked like the number one draft pick. He had that long series with Andrade, which were great matches, but, you know.
And we never got a definitive
We didn't actually,
winner.
Yeah, because it got all screwed up with old LA Knight.
Fucking LA Knight.
God.
Doesn't look like that's getting resolved.
No, he's busy floating over the Potomac.
He's got to be so pissed about that shirt coming out, and then now he's not even
losing
the US title guy. Yeah.
I told you it was a bad idea, brother. No one listens to me.
You know what I think they're doing? I think he's gonna he's gonna win it back. He's gonna have a big multi-man match at WrestleMania, defending against 5 different foreign guys.
I just figure he was going to win it back at Saturday night's main event, just for something to do on that show. They got to make that show big. It can't be Battle of the Belts.
Oh well, we do have another title match set for
the women's
yeah, U.S. or
the women's
the Intercontinental.
No, it's the U.S. title.
U.S. Okay.
We don't know anything about the Intercontinental title.
Anyways, the Cody Rhodes and Carmelo Hayes match. Let's get down to it. Melo had some counters ready early, but he was caught with a great, just spectacular stalling vertical suplex off the second rope by Cody. Hayes came back with the first part of the La Mystica. Cody caught him and hit a running power slam in midair, then locked on a figure four, but Hayes got to the ropes.
I always like when you got a guy, Cody's not like a small guy, but he's not like a big guy. He's not like a Billy Gunn or a, Brock Lesnar or Oba Femi.
Which is funny. It's so funny when you say Billy Gunn because he's huge, yes.
Yes.
But he wasn't huge. In the 90s.
He was pretty damn huge in the 90s.
Yes, but comparatively.
Yes, but anyway, the point of this is it's always fun to see a guy who's like kind of a regular-sized guy, but then you put him in the ring with a small guy, and so he gets to play Davey Boy Smith, running power slams and power moves. I liked it.
Yeah, where were we? Cody went for the disaster kick.
Short-circuited.
Cody went for the disaster kick, but his compromised knee gave him issues. He got caught up in the ropes by Hayes. Hayes then came off the top, missed whatever he was doing. They went through a series of reversals. Cody then hit the Cody Cutter and the Crossroads, and he got the win. They went back and forth during the match, but really did not pull out most of the stops, really, as the story, if they're going to tell this long term, Melo just was not at Cody's level yet. Despite having
Of course he's not. Cody's a world champion.
Yes, despite having game planned well for Cody's offense. But good match. Roman and CM Punk had a sit-down interview ahead of the Survivor Series. This is not my type of angle. I am not a fan of these. They did this one. They did the one at the football stadium with Roman and Cody. I don't know. The idea here is that CM Punk is doing this. He's the fifth man in the War Games for a favor at the hands of he and Roman's wise man, Paul Heyman. Roman, after CM Punk left, asked what the favor was, and Heyman just said, let's get through War Games first, and then we'll have all the time in the world.
Yeah, I watched this, and I had people saying this was like an incredible segment, and I didn't find it to be incredible. I thought everybody did a good job, but like I've seen some backstage segments involving like Paul and Roman and such that have actually been quite incredible, especially when the Usos and Sammy were there. I thought this was good, and I think the key is not even really the performances, but now we have a mystery. What is the favor that Paul Heyman owes CM Punk? And Roman is not happy that Paul has not told him the favor yet. And he wasn't happy at the end of War Games either. So we'll see how long they can drag this out. Because I don't think we're going to get the secret revealed on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a coincidence that CM Punk forced his way into the middle of that final shot either at War Games. I mean, they're clearly setting something up. It's been set up. What it is, no clue. What do you think, Brian?
I don't know.
No idea?
No, he's going to have a championship match? I don't know.
Maybe he's going to...
Even though Roman has no title.
He's going to get a rematch against the Ryback.
He's going to get something.
We had Piper Niven take on Lash Legend and Mishin. And Mishin tried to use her kicks. This is in the women's U.S. title tournament. Mishin tried to use her kicks and speed at first, but Piper hit a great crossbody to Mishin, who was seated. Mishin drop-kicked Lash on a Piper. Then Legend, I saw what they were doing. Mishin's on the top. She's going to jump off the top and do a Hurricane Rana. It's not an easy move for the person on the ground to base for, but hell, Lash Legend did a great job basing for Mishin on this Hurricane Rana, and Mishin sent her and Piper to the floor, hit an acai moonsault onto both of them. Piper hit a big Vader bomb on Lash, but Michin broke it up at 2. Lash hit a choke slam on Piper, got the crowd all fired up. She only got a 2 count. Piper crushed both of them with 1 senton. She went for the Piper driver off the top on Michin, but Lash stopped her. Then Piper went for a senton on Lash and missed. Lash then picked up Piper on her back and hit the Lash extension. This was awesome.
The Lash extension.
Michin broke it up, and then she stole the pin and got the 3 count to move on to the next round.
Yeah.
And they showed the brackets, and Bryan, can you believe it? Chelsea Green is going to beat Michin in the finals to become the first ever women's U.S. champion.
No. People love Chelsea, and she's an entertaining character, but, in the ring, I don't know, man.
Who's going to win the tournament then?
Dude, there's like 6 women left. There's 2 3-ways left.
There's Bayley. There's Michin. There's Chelsea Green. And then there's 1 match left, I believe.
Yeah, so there's 3 other women that'll be in there.
You can't make an informed guess.
But I don't know who the other 3 are. I only know 50% of the competitors.
I'm sure they've mentioned the other match.
Oh, God, do I have to go look for it? Just keep going, and I'll find it.
LA Knight was backstage receiving medical treatment when Byron Saxton just had to talk to him about Nakamura. And Knight let him know he's going to drop him on his head with everybody saying, L.A. Knight. Yeah. And then we had the main event, Jey Uso taking on Jacob Fatu. The War Games advantage on the line. And early on, the match was just kind of happening. Fatu beat him up, then missed a charge in the ring post. And main event, Jey Uso made his comeback with punches, a big running ass into the corner. Fatu then caught him coming off the top with a spinning Uranage, a backhand spring moonsault, got a 2 count. He hit his own big running ass attack in the corner. He let us know that I love you, Solo.
Oh, I'm looking at this right now. It's obvious what we're going to do.
Before hitting a great pop-up Samoan drop for 2. We'll get to it after this match, please. Fatu came off the top with a senton atomico, but Jey got the knees up. Jey then hit a spear, the Uso splash, but Jacob Fatu kicked out at 2. He then stumbled around the ringside looking for reprieve, but Jey hit a suicide dive into the announce desk, but he got caught with a super kick. Fatu Samoan dropped him on the announce table, which did not budge at all. Threw main event Jey Uso in the ring, hit the implant DDT, a triple jump moonsault, and Jacob Fatu in the main event defeated main event Jey Uso.
That's right. Big win, clean.
Kicked out of his finisher.
Jey Uso is the next. Jacob Fatu. He's the next big. He's the next big mountain that Roman Reigns will have to climb. But we got a long ways to go, so that might not be for a while. Okay, so listen. The other 3-way is Elektra, who is not winning, Tiffany, who doesn't need to win because she has a briefcase, and Naomi. So it's very clear to me that we're getting Bayley and Naomi in the finals. Hello?
Damn it.
God. Open your eyes, brother. Thought that was a pretty good SmackDown. Thought that was a pretty good SmackDown.
Yeah, if we could, real quick, too, because I don't think we need to talk about Survivor Series and the War Games very much, but if you noticed, because you mentioned this a few weeks ago, and I noticed it throughout the show, Jey Uso was the guy getting the top billing on that team. He was the last one to make an entrance. When they announced the winners, he was the last name said, so...
Yeah, have you been watching? I mean, even at when they did that 6-person with Jimmy, Jey, and Roman and Jimmy came out together first, and Jey came out by himself second, is like the big name. And obviously part of the Survivor Series is because he was going to be the first guy in the cage, so he came out last. But I was there, dude, and I'm telling you, in Vancouver, in front of 17,000 crazy fans, Jey Uso was the most over guy on the show. He was more over than Roman, more over than Sammy, more over than Punk. He was the most over guy on the show, Jey Uso. Like they've done for everyone that goes, oh, they haven't really elevated. No, they've elevated a lot of people, and he is at the top of the list. He is a main event star, Jey Uso, who they don't mind beating, by the way. But he's very, very over right now. Let's talk about Speed. I got to make one comment. This has nothing to do with Speed. This is all on me, admittedly. This is just, it will only affect me. So, I take the kids to school, and then I go work out every morning, okay? And I don't have to be back till noon for Observer Live, except on Mondays, I have to be back for this show at 11. So I got an hour and a half. I got to get to the gym, work out, get back, be ready for this show. So I also had to watch Speed this morning. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to figure out how to squeeze this in. But it's Speed, This should take like 12 minutes to watch the entire tournament. Of all the tournaments where nearly every single match went to like 2 minutes and 55 seconds, I barely got this thing watched in time. I'm just watching every match going, and it's 3 minutes. Can we end already? Like, did every single solitary match need to go the limit? And we had a draw. So I barely got it watched, but I did. And this WWE Speed account, which I think we figured out is like a gimmick account. It's not an actual WWE Twitter account.
It's a parody. Parody account.
It's not a parody account, but it's not an official account. They put all the matches up, but they put the finals before the semifinals. So I'm like, what? Anyway, whatever. I got comments, so let's get going.
We started off with Joaquin Wilde taking on Axiom. And Wilde looked great here, as he usually does, although he virtually never wrestles. And he won with a 450 with 4 seconds left on the clock. And I thought this was an upset. I thought when I looked at this, I thought Axiom's going to win. But Wilde got the win, and he looked good.
I was surprised, but it was a very, very good, and there's a point coming here. It was a very, very good fast-paced sprint. Two guys in really good shape, but they looked like they were tired 2 minutes in because they were sprinting. All action.
Pete Dunne took on Julius Creed. And Julius Creed did one of the best superplexes I've ever seen in my life in this match.
Dude, Julius Creed is tall, okay? How tall do you think he is?
6'5".
6'5"? Okay, so normally when you do like a superplex, you either go off the middle rope or you go off the very tippy top. And usually when you go off the very tippy top, it's like you go down and then you just like go back. So you're not going from that high. This fucking guy grabs Pete Dunne on the very tippy top and he lifts him and then he stands up as tall as he can to fall back. This poor Pete Dunne, his feet almost hit the ceiling. He fell from so high that when they landed, my first thought was, that should be the finish. Like, he's dead. And Pete kicked out.
Yeah, Pete
that was crazy.
Kicked out, snapped his fingers, hit the bitter end to win with 25 seconds left. Yeah, that, like I said, I think it's the best superplex I've ever seen.
It's way up there. He stood
I can't
up
think of another one that's so ridiculous.
Tall.
Ashante the Adonis took on Javon Evans.
The only ones I've seen that are more impressive are like sometimes Ishii he'll manage to get the guy up and do a delayed on the top rope, and then he'll kind of jump into it. That's pretty impressive. But he's like literally half as tall as
he does that off the second. I don't think he does that off the top.
You may be right.
Hey, Bryan, do you know I've wrestled your favorite guy, Javon Evans, here?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's awesome, isn't he?
I wrestled him 2023 when he was Jay Malachi in the Deadlock Pro Carolina Classic Finals in a 4-way match. Myself, Jake Something, the current champion who I submitted in that match, by the way, Mike Bailey, Speedball, and Javon Evans.
Yeah, he's really fucking good. He's been doing this a long time, and he looked like, he's so good in this match. He's like a worker.
He did a tornado plancha to the floor Oh, I'm sorry. Adonis did a tornado plancha to the floor. That was awesome. But Evans came back with the red dot kick, a taker dive to the floor. I don't know if it was this one or the next. I think it's the next match. Was the most ridiculous taker dive. He tried a springboard, but it didn't work. Adonis hit a power bomb for 2. He sent Evans to the corner, but instead Javon leapt to the top, leapt backwards, pulled the Shate into a cutter, and pinned him for the win.
Yeah, Javon's awesome. Good match. All action. All action. I was watching this tournament going, all action, sprinting, all action. This is good, all action.
Austin Theory and Montez Ford wrestled.
Can you see where this is going? Bro. Dude. I want to make this clear. I got nothing against Austin Theory. Okay? I have nothing against the guy. All of my criticism of Austin Theory is based on the fact that I think he actually could be a big-time star, but he is floundering. He has been floundering for years, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because I have a theory, so to speak, about Austin Theory. Austin Theory was Vince McMahon's golden child. Do you remember this? Vince loved this guy. And he brought him up, and I guess Austin Theory, initially... I guess he underperformed for Vince, and so then Vince buried him for a while and, sent him back to NXT or whatever, and then brought him up for a second chance or whatever. But, the point is this. Vince was an old guy. He's an old man who loves jacked up dudes in his promotion, okay? So he took one look at Austin Theory, and you can just tell, he gave him personal coaching because of the way I've seen Austin Theory before he went up to the main roster. I'd seen him on the Indies. I'd seen him at NXT. Vince got a hold of this guy, and it's this is how you need to work. Slow it down. Make every move. He wanted him to be John Cena in 2002. And you can see it the way he works. And so Austin Theory now is working like a Vince McMahon project from 2002 in fucking 2024. And it's he's a caveman, dude. I mean this, I had nothing against the guy. But, I watched 3 fucking rounds of Speed. All action excitement. All action excitement. All action excitement. And then there's Austin Theory. And it's he had a boring Speed match. How? He's just doing all of his usual slow motion spots. There's heat.
The one move I remember, Brian, was a backbreaker.
God. And you know what? A year and a half ago, I did a show and I was I know he's not listening, but Austin Theory, I'm telling you, stop listening to these fucking people. Stop wrestling how you're wrestling. Go fucking speed it up. Do some cool shit. Work like you're on the indies. Whatever Vince told you, stop it. And you know what I had? I had all these fans going, who the fuck is Bryan Alvarez telling Austin Theory what to do? Oh, look, he's a big star and you're some fucker. Fine, whatever, dude. Don't listen to me. Well, where is he now? He's far below where he was when I did that speech. They don't do shit with the guy. He's in a never-ending breakup feud with Grayson Waller. He's way whatever, dude. I'm telling you. It's 2024, dude. I know he can do it. But he's doing the same John Cena 2002 boring shit. And he even did it in a fucking Speed tournament. I'm just fucking trying to help. I don't dislike the guy. God. All right, I'm done. This match was so boring. They went to a draw. I was thank God. They're both out. I have nothing against either of them. But have you ever seen, seriously, Tom, have you ever seen a more boring Speed match? It's only 3 minutes. How could it be boring? God. Am I wrong? Just tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not.
No.
God.
We had the quarterfinals. Pete Dunne taking on Joaquin Wilde.
All action.
Dude, Joaquin
boom,
Wilde.
Boom, boom. It was fucking great.
fuck. Joaquin Wilde did the best Minoru Tanaka flying armbar.
Oh my God, it was awesome. It was like he was going to go for like a step up knee, but then somehow it turned into a head scissors into an armbar. It was fucking incredible.
Yeah. Dunn countered this, stomped on the arm, then he countered Wilde and hit a sit-out powerbomb, which is great. Then Wilde came back. He did an Imanari roll into a single-leg takedown, into a powerbomb of his own. Dunn hit a buzzsaw kick, tried the bitter end. Wilde countered with a DDT. They went back and forth, countering each other again until Wilde hit a poison rana with 1 minute left. He went up to the top, missed a 450. Dunn hit the bitter end and beat him. And at the end, I wrote here, I think this is one of the best Speed matches I've seen.
It was great.
Obviously,
it was following biased. That other match. God.
Extremely biased because of these fucking insane flying armbar that Joaquin Wilde did here. So awesome. I've got a DJZ doll floating around somewhere in here. Oh, here it is. Right here. That's how big of a fan of old Joaquin Wilde I am. Look at this.
Wow, look at that.
DJZ in the house.
Cool.
They got to get him wrestling more.
All right, let's get to these finals.
Well, we had the semis.
Actually, no,
first.
we had the semis, which was also
Javon Evans against Pete Dunne. This is where Evans hit just the most insane flying splash over the top. The taker dive almost flew over Pete Dunne.
Everything he did was great in this match.
Yeah, Dunne caught him going for a cutter, broke his fingers, hit the bitter end, got the win.
Yeah, it was a good, fun match. The springboard cutter, it's just awesome. I mean, this is exactly what I was talking about. It's like they're not working some stupid 2019 Vince McMahon. It's like they're doing a bunch of crazy shit. They're jumping high. It's like it's still a good match. It's not like it was a indie spot fest, but like everything they did, it's like I'm not doing a low fucking stunner. I'm going to jump as high as I can and make it look spectacular. It was great.
And then we had the finals, Andrade defending against Pete Dunne, the coveted WWE Speed Championship. They traded pin and submission attempts early before Dunne hit some chops. Andrade landed a top rope crossbody, a hip toss into the buckle, and then he stood up on the top rope and he fell down and did a split-legged moonsault that was absolutely insane for a 2 count. Dunne then attacked the fingers with some Wally J small circle jiu-jitsu techniques before Andrade schoolboyed him into the buckle. He charged him, but he got leveled with a kick by Dunne. Andrade tried the spinning back elbow, but Dunne hit a great, just awesome counter snap German suplex.
Dude, that was incredible, and Corey didn't even catch it. Like, he thought he just Germaned him, but it was actually, he was avoiding the back elbow. It was a great spot.
It was awesome. Stomp to the fingers, buzzsaw kick. He gets a 2 count. Dunne went to the top, and he tried a sunset flip power bomb, but Andrade backflipped to his feet, ran at Dunne and hit the running knees in the corner. He went for the message, but Dunne spun out, snapped the fingers, but he was met with Andrade's back elbow finally, and Andrade locked him up with the double underhook, hit the message spinning neck breaker.
Why the hell is it called the message? I've been trying to figure this out. There must be some insider thing that happened, but I can't remember what the message is about. Andrade, the message.
It was just he started using it a few weeks after he came back on Raw, if I remember correctly.
Is
right?
he sending us all a message? He's
don't
not
think
with AEW anymore?
Yeah, I don't think there was like a huge storyline reason for it. But he got the win after a damn fine WWE Speed title contest, and I thought it was a damn fine tournament.
This was a very, very good tournament. I wish I wasn't rushed to watch it and irritated that these matches went so long early. But goddamn, at least I got a good rant out of it. Hey, listen, we got to wrap it up today. Right now, F4WOnline.com, promo code F4W50. The promo code F4W50 at WrestlingObserver.com or F4WOnline.com gets you half off for the month. And I should note, that means you sign up today, you're going to get the Christmas show. And you can also go back and listen to every Christmas show we have done dating back to 2005. That's when we get together and we just drink for 2 hours and talk no wrestling and call a bunch of maniacs, and it's out of control. So you'll get that if you sign up today. WrestlingObserver.com, promo code F4W50. Get half off today only for the next month. And that'll take you through the beginning of WrestleMania season. So that's it. We're going to be back in about 10 minutes with Wrestling Observer Live. Also free. Look how many freaking shows you get with this subscription. 84 a month. 84 a month. We'll be back in a little while. Thanks, Tom, as always. Talk to you next time, Wrestling Observer. Whatever.